Real front right here. Other side. Right here. Right here. What's up, man? I feel like we've been talking and thinking about this fight between you and Rob Font for a while now because, it was booked and then rebooked and everything. So now that you're only a few days away from finally getting to fight Rob Font, are you just kind of excited to kind of stop thinking about this guy and finally getting in there to fight him?
Yeah, I'm excited more than anything to be back in the cage, and getting an opponent, top 15 opponent, is what I've been looking for. I've been working so hard for this opportunity, so I'm ready to make the best out of it.
And what are you expecting from Rob in there? Because his last few fights maybe not as indicative as the skill level that he brings. So when you finally step in there, what version of Rob Font do you see?
I expect them to come hard, Pause. But I expect them to come with everything, because he's trying to prove something, I'm trying to prove that I'm ready, that it's my time, I belong here, and I know he's trying to prove that he's still here despite his age, So we're both saying despite our age, so we're going to see what time it is, and I believe it's my time.
Are you a guy that watches tape on your opponent, or do you just not really care about it?
Oh, no, I watch a lot of tape, and he's been in their main events, he's been through wars. So that's what excites me about this fight because since I got into this company, I've been looking for fights like that to test myself. So nothing more than to get started with Rob Font because after this, I know it's going to come only tough fights from here. So I'm ready to get started.
Well, I was going to touch upon that, but since you brought it up, the guys that he loses to are champions, former champions from multiple weight classes, some of the best fighters, top two, top three. So is that what excited you about Rob? Not just the name, but the guys that have beat him have
Yeah.
typically gone on to fight for the belt.
Yeah, like fighting somebody experienced like that that's been through it, and I'll see where my level is. I know it's a test for myself, and I'm ready to pass it with flying colors. And I'm excited because these guys weren't able to get Rafan out of there, so I'm excited to go in there and try to figure it out and try to get him out of there.
What, if anything, did you kind of pull from his last fight against David Martinez?
Um, I just think Martinez was too fast, But I just knew off the get-go, like when they got matched up, that David Martinez, because of his style, he was gonna be too fast. And I feel like Rafa just starts to get frustrated when things aren't going his way, and I just think that was the problem.
Were you hoping to fight on the Mexico City card, considering it was last week, and you're fighting now the week later? Because I think a lot of people assumed they would want you in that market.
Uh, Honestly, I love fighting in Vegas. I love fighting in Mexico City, but this time I'm okay with Las Vegas. I think I want to get back to the USA fans. I want to be able to perform in both, So maybe at the end of the year, I get to go out there and perform in Mexico again. But being back in the USA is also great.
And outside of fighting, I guess, how's life been for you, your family, and your friends? Because I remember when you broke onto the scene, it was, I can buy my mom a minivan, and now you're kind of one of the more popular fighters on the entire roster. So how's life been for you and your inner circle outside of fighting?
It's been good. I mean, they keep me humble, and I'm excited because after this fight is a life-changing moment this Saturday. I can change my life and upgrade from like a minivan to like a Lamborghini Urus, some shit like that. Get a house this time. The bonus increased, so there's a lot on the line this Saturday, and I know that. So I worked my ass off. I poured all my life into this sport for moments like this, and I'm just excited to go out there and get the job done.
And the last one for me. I know everyone saw that interview you did with Dominic Cruz, and you're like, I kind of want to retire by 25, which caught a lot of people off guard. Did anyone reach out to you and kind of talk you out of retiring, wanting to retire that early?
A lot of people have talked to me about it because I've said it since I've came into the company. Uh, but obviously, God has a plan for us, So that's just me having a vision, but it could probably be potentially longer. We never know. But all I'm saying is, once I get everything I want in this sport, I get the job done, I get my titles, uh, then I'm out of the sport, But so far, it's going good, exactly as planned. And if I get ranked, for example, this Saturday, then I'm a 21-year-old ranked, and I'm a few fights away from the title. So the 25-year age might be looking good for retirement.
So with a win, are you going to expect 5-round main events after this? Because usually that's what happens when you get a ranking next to your name, especially in this division.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go for main events. But more than anything, I'm just focused on the title, enjoying the process, enjoying the journey, and whoever they put in front of me, I'll be ready. But right now, I'm ready for Rob Font, ready to show the best version of myself, and get the job done.
Hey, Raul, back here. Straight up. Raul, if I'm not mistaken, this is your first fight in Las Vegas since turning 21. I mean, now you can have a big after party, you know, legally and everything. Are there any particularly special plans for after this fight?
I'm gonna put everything on red.
And then, ironically, in the other direction, obviously you've been, you know, the poster guy for, you know, the next generation, these young up-and-comers in MMA. Now, a few years into it, what's it like for you to see, you know, now more and more young people, you know, teenagers getting into early adulthood, becoming pros, and just kind of also adding to that next generation of talent coming up?
It excites me, you know. I just think that the new generation is here, and that the sport is evolving. You see young people on all the sports now dominating, you know. So that's what excites me about specifically this fight too, is the new generation against the old generation. So we're gonna see who's got it, you know.
You know, final one, you see them promoting, you know, Joshua Van, Tatsuro Taira, first title fight between two guys born in the 2000s. When you see, like, you know, the graphics like that, do you also see yourself like, hey, like, it is going to be our turn for a guy like me coming up soon?
Yeah, definitely. But I give all like props to Tatsuro and Joshua Van doing it at a young age, you know, and it excites me because, like I said, it's the new generation that's taking over the UFC, and you see new people getting signed that are my age. I think there's a couple people my age already in the UFC, 21. So I'm excited to keep opening the doors for the young people.
Thank you.
Raul over here. Raul, I had a question. You were talking about the new generation, and when we watched the last fight of Lonnie Kavanagh, for example, he fought also a former champ and a big guy, big name. What would you say is the biggest difference between the new generation and what's the switch you guys made? Why you go so hard like you go as a MMA fighters?
I just think maybe a little bit of training smarter, and we don't have a lot of miles in us yet, so we're hungry, you know. Like for example, Brandon Moreno's a beast, and maybe it just wasn't his night. But the problem I feel like they face now, facing somebody like us, is like we haven't had a taste of the title yet. You know, Brandon already had a taste of it. Leonard Kavanagh hadn't have a taste of it, and I feel like that's what makes us hungry and makes us fight even harder on that fight. And we know it's a bigger opportunity for us, you know. So I feel like that's the difference.
Thank you, Raul.
Raul, many believe that great opportunities of growth are born from loss. It's been nearly 2 years since the only loss in a very bright young career of yours. My question is, how would you say you've grown from that loss, and do you continue to learn lessons from that? Do you still grow from that moment in time?
Yeah, every time I still look back to this day and make sure I'm not repeating the same mistakes. If I ever do a mistake, I just want to double check that I'm not making the same mistake twice. But I think that loss was the best thing that could have happened in my career. You know, it humbled me, and it made me sure to not skip nothing in training. It made me sure to eat right. It made me like a real professional fighter, and realize that I'm in the UFC now, competing against the best in the world, and I had to change a lot of things, you know.
Fantastic. Also, I'm very curious, did you coin the term, did you invent the term Chiwiwi?
Yeah, I mean, it came from my homie, and then I just went on with it, you know. We were doing camp in Mexico City in a mountain with no service, and that's all he was saying, so it just got stuck to me. And after the fight with Ricky Turcios, it just came automatically. It wasn't nothing planned. I didn't plan it like, oh, I'm going to say it after I win. it just came automatically.
Thank you.
Hey, Raul over here. Over here. You frequently post on social media doing skits and a lot of fun content. How important do you think it is to post on social media and have a presence on there being a fighter in the current age?
I think a lot. I think a lot of people now look at social media, so I just try to show off like my personality and just fun stuff for the people to enjoy. You know, I think I don't really like posting too much about fighting on my social media because obviously they know I'm a fighter, but I like showing like what we do and that I don't know, we're just normal people, you know.
Hello, Raul. If you win this weekend, you could enter the top 15, and you will be like the youngest fighter to enter the top 15. What's your thought about that?
Man, I'm grateful. You know, I thank God for putting me where He's put me today, and I really don't think about it. Like even when I became the youngest UFC fighter, it was not something I ever thought like, oh, I'm gonna become the youngest UFC fighter. I just have my ultimate goal to become the youngest UFC champion. But everything that's coming along the way, I'm grateful for it, and I just let it sink in.
You have a great reach advantage over your opponent. What's your like the way you will approach the fight?
Who has the reach advantage? Him, no? I think.
Yeah, you taller, but he has like a tiny reach advantage over you. Yeah.
Yeah. I think. You know, just my fight style. I fought Terrence Mitchell. He had a really long reach. So throughout these camps with different styles, I've learned how to deal with every single thing. And this time I was training at the MMA lab. A lot of good different styles, new up-and-comers, a lot of talent in the gym. So getting all different looks, a lot of good boxing. And I think I'm more than ready for this Saturday.
Just the last one. Are you growing like the maturity of yourself, like at the beginning when you enter the UFC, and now do you see like a big difference?
Yeah, I think in experience, how to carry myself, maturity, because obviously, like I said, the Christian Rodriguez was what really made me change a lot of things. Because if you think about it, I was 18-year-old making a good paycheck, you know, with a lot of fame, and I just felt on top of the world, you know.
Hi, Raul. I'm from Chinese media, Migu. We have a lot of young fans on Chinese social media, and they gave you a nickname. It's called 紧凑哥. And I want to ask if you could say something to the young generation in China. What would you say to them, to your fans?
To all my young generation in China, I would say just keep working hard, stay dedicated in whatever you want to do. As an experience from somebody that's been in this sport since I was 4 years old, there'll be times where you're going to get tired and you're going to be like, damn, I want to be a normal kid, you know? And just keep pushing, you know? Just sit down and think what you really want. Do you want to live the normal life as a kid, or you want to be great, you know? And I went through those times a couple times where I was like, man, sometimes I just want to be a normal teenager, you know, go to parties, you know, eat chips and stuff. But I was like, no, I want to be great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.